Okay, now it's finally time to talk about how to install apps. I'm going to go to Apps, Apps Directory. I'll go to Entertainment. I'll choose a subcategory of Books. So let's say that I've browsed around and I decide I'd like to use this Goodreads app. So here on the Goodreads page, I'm going to click Go to App. And this is the button that you're going to find in common with all apps when you want to install them. Just click Go to App. And now I see the Request for Permission message. And again, you'll see this anytime an app is trying to install on your account. So whether you arrive at an app by browsing to it like I just did, or you click an app request from a friend, or you just happen upon an app you find interesting while browsing around Facebook, you're always going to see this message. Now, pretty much all Facebook apps request access to information about you and your Facebook account. This includes your name, your profile photo, your gender, your friend list, just to name a few. Now, you have to grant apps access to this information so they can do things like post on your wall, for example. And one of the cool things about this Goodreads app is that it can post information on my wall about what books I've read, but it needs access to my account information to do so. The great majority of the time, you don't really have to be concerned about granting access to an app. But the important thing to be aware of here is that when you see this request for permission message, you're dealing with a third-party app, which the majority of apps are. That means the app's creators are not part of Facebook. So with each app you approve, you're allowing access to your account to another third party and trusting them with your information. And the reason this message screen is here is so Facebook can cover themselves should one of those third parties lose or misuse your information. But don't let this scare you off from the idea of apps altogether. What you have to do is find a balance between how sensitive the information you've put on Facebook is and how important it is for you to install any particular app. That's why earlier I recommended against documenting things like your mobile phone number or home address in your Facebook account. Personally, I try to keep all information that I wouldn't want to be public off my Facebook account. And as a result, I'm much less concerned about allowing apps to have access to my information. So that's a very long way of saying, if you have your doubts about installing an app, just click Leave App when you're here. But if you're okay with it and want to install the app, click Allow. Now at this point, you've installed the app. Depending on the app, and this will vary greatly from app to app, you may be asked to create an account, or answer some additional questions, or even follow some additional installation steps. Or in some cases, you might be able to start using the app right away. If I'm already a Goodreads website member, I can log in here, or just here on Facebook, I can click Get Started. And here in this app, I can do things like look for books, so maybe I'll type in the title of a book I'm currently reading. And I found the book here. I'll add it to my books, say I'm currently reading this. And now the app is asking me to add a review of the book. I'll just write a quick one-sentence review there. And in this case, I'm going to check Add this review to my Goodreads and Facebook feeds. And when any app asks you to add something to your Facebook feed, that means you'll be posting something related to the app on your wall, and your friends will see it in their news feeds. So I'm going to check that option and click Save. So now I see a window that looks a lot like a Facebook status update. So here I can say something about this book. Now, just like with any other status update, I have the lock icon here, and I can determine who among my friends will be able to see this. I'll just leave it to everybody for now. And I'll click Publish. And now when I go back to my wall, go to my profile and to my wall, I can see the post that I just added here. So this was only possible for Goodreads to post on my wall because I allowed it access to my account. So that's just one example of why apps need access to your account information. And notice that this says it was posted via Goodreads. Clicking on the app name takes you to the app. So anytime you see a post where it has something like via and then the app's name, in your friends updates, you can click on the app name to check the app out yourself. I'm going to go back to my home page, and notice my new app is now listed in the left sidebar, so I can quickly access it. So that takes me right there. Now, if you only use a particular app occasionally and you don't want to see it here all the time, you can click the X next to its name. Here you can choose to see this app in the home navigation, either sometimes or never. Never obviously means it won't show up here at all. Sometimes means it will be there during periods where you're using it frequently, but it will stop appearing when you don't use the app for a while. You can also set up when you want to be notified in regards to activities around the app. So I can say notify me when Goodreads sends me a request, when a friend sends me a request, or never notify me. I'm just going to leave everything the way it is here and click Save Settings. So you can see it's no longer listed over here, but I can still get to it by going to Apps, and there it is. So that's just one example of the thousands and thousands of apps that are available for Facebook. You'll have to figure out how to use most apps on your own, but generally they're pretty easy to figure out, and any well-designed app will have good documentation and support if you have any questions.